Music licensing reimagined. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up to sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing our limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my last look for UFC 317. We have Ilia Topuria going against Charles Oliveira, International Fight Week. Looking forward to this card, a card that is stacked from top to bottom. Looking forward to pretty much every single fight outside of the Cortez Araujo fight. This card took a big hit. This card took a really big hit earlier in the week. My favorite play of the week, McVeigh, he was taking on Cedricus Dumas. Dumas had to pull out due to apparently, and this is not me making it up. Apparently, Dumas was not able to get his ankle monitor off in time, so that fight fell through. But other than that, yeah, looking forward to this card. Looking forward to the main event, Charles Oliveira, Ilia Topuria, probably my most anticipated fight of the year. I'm looking forward to Brandon Royval, Joshua Van, which has a fight of the night written all over it. Also have Emil, Jose Delgado, which also has a fight of the night written all over it. So looking forward to coming on here, breaking down these fights one last time, looking to see where these odds have moved throughout the week and talking throughout the chat. So what is up, everybody? If you guys could do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, do appreciate it a ton. We have the first person in here is Kyle. What is up, Kyle? Saying, woo, let's get it, Brady. What a night we're about to got. What a night we're got ahead of us. What a night we've got ahead of us. I think what you meant. Yeah, great night ahead of us. Great night of fights. Looking forward to it. What is up, Kyle? We got Al the Pal, Diniz -3.5, McKinney, Robocop and over 1.5, Lima, Moicano, Topuria and over 1.5. Big parlay there. I like most outside of the Moicano fight, but we'll talk about that. That line's moved a ton. Moicano's the dog on some books now, which is just crazy. What's up, Xavier? Good to see you. Let's go, Brady. Best UFC takes on YouTube. I hope so. Romanov carried out on a stretcher after a groin strike. I saw that. A couple people tagged me in that. I didn't get to see it live, but I did see them grab the stretcher there. Unfortunate for Alexander Romanov. We got Mike. I like to drink soda. There you go, Mike. There you go. We got Kyle saying, anyone else feel like we're about to milk the F out of the card this tonight? Let's go. I got 12 units on this card alone. I'm a madman. Brady, pray for me and a song, please. Best of luck, Kyle. You got this, man. You got it. Let's kill it. Topuria sub could be sneaky. My sneakiest bet on the card is Slava and McKinney. Fight starts round 2 plus 110. We shall see. Who is the dog of the night? Couple dogs sticking out. I think Slava's very live against McKinney, and the line has moved heavily in his favor throughout the week. Emil's the definition of a live dog. Money's pouring in on Emil on fight day. I think Peyton Talbott's kind of live. I did think Dariush was very live, but he's not a dog anymore. And then also McVeigh against Dumas, that was a very live dog. Brady, your eyes better be red. They're not. Yeah, dog of the night, Emil could be. If Borshchev can survive round 1, I like him to win in rounds 2 or 3. Smoke more? Are you smoking now? I'm not smoking, man. Man, I would have to say Royval since Dariush is so questionable. Yeah, Royval I think is a live dog as well. Hugo Price winning by DQ. That's probably his path to victory. We got Daniel Forrest. What is up, Forrest? Good to see you in here. Go Colton G on the like button and milk the subscribe button. I agree. Get those likes up, fellas. Hermansson or Robocop for me. I think Dariush is a better fighter, but his chin is tissue paper. So I have to side with Royval as a solid dog. Has the experience and will never gas out like many of Van's opponents. Yeah, I had a bet on Dariush the first time these two were supposed to meet 6 months ago, and I got him like plus 160. And now it's minus 115. And minus 115, I just don't have any interest at all. Robocop KO1, I like it. No, I wasn't late. I was not late. What's up, Klaus? Good to see you. Royval lock of the century. I don't know about that, but hopefully Royval comes through. Please, Brady, no more swinging dick references. Let's retire that, please. No, I can't, man, especially on this card. And even Emil posted me on his Instagram. about the swinging dick references. So Hyder Emil liked it. Going to be a good card. Let's get this money. Yes, sir. Let's keep the swinging. I agree. Let's keep it. What are the crowns for? I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a new thing they're doing. I'm not sure though. What's up, Nick? What's up, Andrew? Good to see you. Brady, the angry father. I'm not an angry father. Come on. I need your best prop to continue a streak. Best prop would be the McKinney Borshchev under 1.5. It's my favorite prop of the week. Not a ton of props sticking out just because everything's extremely juiced. Like, I like Diniz KO, but it's gotten smoked throughout the week. Dumas will rise again. I hope so. Free SD Dumas, first fighter to take off his ankle monitor and try to stab somebody. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. Never forget what they took. They took a lot from us. Had a big bet on McVeigh, and then it was also going to take the round one prop. Under 1.5 in the McKinney fight. Did they take 3 fights off? No, they just took the McVeigh fight off. Charles sub 1, 2, and 4. No 3? No 3. Maybe he meant 3. Carried out my money line play on a stretcher too. Ilia under 2.5 or the money line. Yeah, 2 and under. I like the under 2.5 in the main event. McKinney sub, smash it. I could see it. McKinney's going to get KO'd in the first. It should be a fun fight. I think somebody's getting served. McKinney sub, Royval easy. Brady, the DFS go. Please don't F my bitch. I'll try not to F your bitch. Hermansson decision, a sneaky play. Yeah, if he's winning, it's by decision. Yeah, I like that, and I'm on that as well. Robocop KO 1, 2 plus 310. I like it. Is it really? Topuria KO plus 100 on FanDuel. That's a wild line. I think that's his path. Brady, I miss Liang Na here. I miss it too, but we need to get the UFC to bring Liang Na back. And then I can bring back the wig, man. If going so much as breeze in the wrong direction, I got you, Brady. Appreciate that. Will Pantoja become the third person to win a title at 35 plus? I believe so. What's up, man? Haven't caught a live stream in a while. You haven't posted your bets on the website yet, mate. Love from New Zealand. Just did. Bets were posted about 10 minutes ago. Got a late start this week, but all my action is in for the card. McVeigh was going to feed my family for generations. Same. I was going to have McVeigh money line, McVeigh round 1. It was going to be a 5-unit hit, man. I was very confident that he was going to smoke Dumas, but it sucks. I hate when your favorite spot, the card, gets taken away. Ilia, the most overrated fighter in the sport right now. I don't know about that, man. I don't think he's overrated. I mean, the dude beat Volk and Holloway. I mean, that's crazy. Oh, it's boosted. Okay, I got you. Brady, if Benil wins, will you F my girl? No. I am picking Benil Dariush to win, but I liked him a lot better at plus 160 the first time around. All right, guys. I say we start digging into some fights. Let's see where these lines moved. Fight day line movement the last month and a half. 2 months has been crazy. So let's see where these lines have moved. Always good to drink some water. You got to stay hydrated. All right. First fight of the night. Jacoby Smith, Nico Price. Smith minus 2,300. Nico Price plus 1,200. So if these odds stand, I mean, Smith's going to be the biggest favorite on the card. I mean, we just saw Wellmaker close, I think, at like minus 2,000. And right now, Jacoby Smith minus 2,300. I see minus 3,333 out there. So yeah, it's definitely wild. Not sure what they're doing here other than, getting Jacoby Smith a pretty easy win. And I like Jacoby Smith. I think this guy has a lot of upside, and just kind of sucks that they're bringing in Nico Price, who, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and they're doing this to him. So yeah, I mean, I think Smith wins this fight, but the problem with this fight is everything is completely juiced. I mean, the minus 260 to the under 1.5. Smith round 1 is like minus 160. I think those all probably hit, but we're just paying a pretty hefty price tag. And we've seen some weird fights that aren't supposed to go over lately. Like, we could see Nico Price and Jacoby Smith have a gentleman's agreement. Say, hey, listen, we're going to go out there and we're going to play patty cake for the first 10 minutes, and then we're going to start fighting in the third round, just like who was the Brundage fight a couple weeks ago. They didn't start fighting until the third round started. So other than that, I mean, if this is a real fight and Smith's trying, I mean, he's going to smoke him in the very first round. So I guess the only thing potentially even sticking out would be Smith KO1, but you're like barely getting plus money on it, if plus money at all. So I don't have a bet on this fight. I just feel bad for Nico Smith. I mean, this guy's a family man. This guy has 8 or 9 kids, and I'm hoping his kids aren't at the fight because it's going to be tough to watch. It's going to be very tough to watch Nico Price here. So yeah, Smith to win in the very first round. Will Talbott get back on track tonight? Potentially. I would have liked to see the UFC give Talbott, a much more favorable matchup, maybe against a guy that, won't try to take him down. But, it wouldn't shock me if he got back on track. I just don't love the matchup for him. Awesome. Thanks, bro. I need some parlay plays. Any thoughts on the fact Oliveira has more weapons, kicks and knees and elbows? Topuria has issues against longer. Jai Herbert a while ago. Yeah, parlay pieces. And I just posted a parlay, but parlay pieces, I like the Oliveira, Topuria under 2.5 rounds, or even the fight won't start round 4. I think somebody's getting served. I like McKinney under 1.5 rounds. McKinney Borshchev under 1.5. I like the Rodriguez money line as a potential parlay piece. Outside of that, I mean, I guess you could throw the Price Smith under 1.5 in a parlay. It's just minus 260. It is a steep price to pay, but it probably hits. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of really chalky plays this week, but yeah. Jai also has durability issues, so it doesn't tell us much about Ilia's power at 155. I think his power will translate, but I also agree that Jai does have durability issues. Would you add the Jake Paul over 5.5 to the parlay? I don't even know who Jake Paul's fighting today. I don't know who he's fighting today at all. Let's see here. So yeah, we have Justin Cash. Appreciate the $2 dono saying any prize picks plays also Ilia free square. For prize picks, I think probably Nico Price less on the significant strikes. It was set at 17.5. Hyder Emil probably more on the significant strikes. It was set at 66.5. I'm not sure how much these moved, but in terms of fight time, I like the Topuria less than fight time. It's 9.75 minutes. And probably Jacoby Smith less on the fight time, too. He should finish Price in the first round. That's probably about it. Probably hopefully no cuddling. Diniz to shave the fat ass of Alvin Hines. Yeah, I think he does probably finish him. 9.9 Smith. How much do we get to? Man, it's not often you see a fighter with a $9,900 price tag. It's actually we'll never see that. I think it's the first time in a very, 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 very long time. So it's tough to get there. I really struggle to get there this week, but he should win. He should absolutely win. Don't expect Nico to win, but at 1,200, why not toss a quarter unit on him? Injuries and flukes happen. Yeah, if he wins, it's probably like a DQ, like maybe like shots to the back of the head type thing. Other than that, I just don't love his chances. Emil Delgado fight to end by KO plus 135. That's not a terrible line. I think it could be one of those though that looks like a great bet, but this could be one of those fights where it's just like an all-out war where they just swing and they just won't fall down, type thing. But yeah, I don't hate it. I rewatched the Talbott Barcelos fight. Barcelos got rocked. Talbott rocks everyone. Is Lima stupid enough to stand and not follow Barcelos and grapple the entire 15? Yeah, I don't think Lima's going to grapple the entire 15. I don't think he's going to grapple the entire 15. I think he's going to strike a little bit too. So I think Talbott will have some opportunities for sure. Julio Chavez Jr. is fighting Jake, but you couldn't pay me to bet a Jake Paul fight. Yeah, I don't think I've ever bet a Jake Paul fight, and I'm pretty happy with that. Araujo by points plus 300. I'm not touching that. I do see money's coming in on Araujo. Barcelos, I got you. Not the knees KO. They should have let Dumas fight with the ankle monitor. I thought they were going to let him fight with the ankle monitor, but apparently the commission would not allow it, unfortunately. Alvin Hines looks like he needs to stay away from the playgrounds. What? What does that even mean? Okay. How many hours until the fights? The fights are kicking off at, is it 6:30? I think about an hour and 12 minutes until we get to watch poor Nico Price. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. We have Jonathan Diniz going against Alvin Hines. Jeez. So I taped all these fights nice and early because I was going on vacation this week. And yeah, I taped the Diniz fight, and it's like Diniz was sitting there like minus 175. I was like, okay, I'm just probably going to wait for the knockout prop, which is should be plus money, right? And then the line just got completely hammered. I wasn't expecting it to get this hammered because Alvin Hines does, in theory, have a path to victory. It's just I was not that impressed with Alvin Hines at all. Doesn't really grapple as much as you'd like to see. So I think these two are going to strike, and then just Diniz is the much higher level striker on the feed. And I think Diniz goes out there and probably does pay off this price tag and probably does look minus 500 in hindsight with a knockout. But I mean, these props are disgusting. I think everybody's playing the Diniz knockout prop, or everybody has played it. And this knockout prop is getting smoked. Diniz by knockout, minus 175 best price. Oh, geez. That's tough, man. I mean, that's a wide line considering this Hines guy has never been knocked out, but that's probably the most likely outcome. So yeah, Diniz by knockout. I don't have a bet on this fight, but if I were to bet it, it probably would be like Diniz by KO. But it's just I don't love laying that much juice on a KO prop or on a sub prop, on a decision prop. But yeah, Diniz by knockout. I like Diniz a lot on DraftKings. That's probably where I'll get my exposure. On DraftKings, they have him at 9,100. You're saving about $800 off of Jacoby Smith, and I think it's probably the same result, a knockout. So yeah, I'll be playing Diniz on DraftKings, but from a betting perspective, it's just tough to lay that much chalk on a knockout prop for me. But I'm assuming a lot of people got in on the Diniz knockout prop earlier in the week at a better price. His Topuria lines are blown. All the value is on Charles. Yeah, so Topuria was like minus 550. Yeah, so his money has came in on Charles. Topuria was as high as like minus 550. I think last week. Now minus 440 there. Hey man, what do you think about a 4-leg parlay with Diniz and Smith KO and Felipe Lima and Pantoja to win? Yeah, the only one that worries me a little bit is Felipe Lima, because I don't want to completely rule out Peyton Talbott, but yeah, I like Diniz. I like Smith, both by KO. I like those. I like Pantoja. And I think instead of Lima, I might do like Rodriguez. I think I like Rodriguez a little bit more than Lima, but yeah, it's not a bad parlay at all. I don't hate it. Did they change it? Oh, God. They might have. You know what? They might have. Yep, you're right. They changed it. Want to know why they changed it? Because we lost the Dumas fight or the Ewert McVeigh fight as well. So we lost a fight. So fight is starting. Dang. Geez, it's going to be a long, long day. I'm already exhausted. The only right answer is McKinney first round or Slava round 2 or round 3. I think Slava can finish McKinney in round 1. I mean, we've seen McKinney finish in round 1 a couple times. I would lean Slava round 1 or round 2. In hindsight, there you go. Appreciate you, Justin, for the $2 dono. Thoughts on Cortez significant strikes, over or under? I think it's probably going over, man. Cortez, I see these two striking for 15 minutes, and the reason I see that is because Araujo has elite takedown defense for the division. I think it's like 90%. And not to say Cortez can't take her down and won't take her down. I think she might take her down a time or two, but I think primarily his fights standing. And these two are going to strike. See, I can see this definitely going over. And Araujo is hittable. She does absorb more than she's dishing out. Araujo is absorbing 4.87 significant strikes per minute, which is not great. Not great. So, yeah, Cortez should be able to hit her as much as possible. Hines via catch-up. Oh, gosh. Heel Brady, I got Justine Kish. Justine Kush. Oh, I thought you said Justine Kish. Okay, Justine Kush in one hand and a Four Loko in the other. Which one should I smash first? Dude. The Kush. Don't smash the Four Loko, man. Those are dangerous. Four Lokos are dangerous, man. I wouldn't mess around with those. I would not mess around with those Four Lokos. I thought you said Justine Kish for a second. I was like, why do you have Justine Kish in your hands? The only bad thing about Diniz is once he's taken down, he's useless. If Hines luckily takes him down, Diniz is done. Agreed. I think if Diniz is taken down, that's the round because Diniz is not getting back up. Before you wager on Lima, do me a favor, rewatch Barcelo's fight and watch the stand-up only. Do that for me one time before it starts later. McKinney Slava starts round 2, and Slava over 1.5 rounds is the play in my opinion. Diniz has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 6-pack going on. This fight looks in shape. Good. Love to see it. Price submission rounds 2 or rounds 3 plus 9,000. I don't know, man. That's a crazy line. Something wild had to happen for that to hit, man. We got Dr. Peener. Good to see you, Dr. Peener. Good to see you. Hello, Hog Daddies. Sorry I'm late. Just got back. They elevaced me to a NW hospital, and I was up all night trying to save what's left of Romanov's beans. There you go. Appreciate you, Dr. Peener, doing the hard work. They took caffeine out of the Four Loko, so now it's just a normal bad beer. Oh, that's no fun then. Then there's no point in getting him anymore then. Yeah, Four Lokos used to be dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Is there anyone you think is in danger of being cut this card? Somebody did get cut. They cut him before he even weighed in. SD Dumas, I think, could potentially be in danger of getting cut. Other than that, I mean, if Nico Price loses, I don't think they'll cut Price. I mean, especially here. I don't think anybody's really in danger of getting cut. I don't see it. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. We have Terrence McKinney going against Slava Borshchev. And we have Terrence McKinney minus 173, Borshchev plus 148. Yeah, not much I like here other than the under. I was hoping money would come in on the over throughout the week, but that hasn't really happened. But yeah, under 1.5 rounds, minus 200, I think is a solid parlay piece. McKinney, 11 fights, all 11 of them have came under 1.5 rounds, and I think this is no different. So this is a weird fight. This is a fight where I see why McKinney's the favorite. I think he has a lot more paths to win, but I also have a very strong suspicion that McKinney's not going to use his strengths. Heard an interview from McKinney, and you can't take really much from interviews, but it kind of sounded like he was going to go out there and swing with Borshchev. And if he does that, I mean, I think McKinney's just as live to knock out Borshchev as he is to get knocked out. I mean, McKinney's a guy who's been finished 7 times, 5 knockout losses. But yeah, McKinney, he has a massive advantage if he takes the fight down to the ground. But will he? And if he does, can he sustain that pace? And the answer is no, he can't. And he's shown us he can't. So yeah, not much sticking out. I think it's a great fight to target on DraftKings. I think there's a couple fights on this card where it's like borderline must target, and this is one of them, because either McKinney's going to go out there and completely dominate and put up a massive score, or he's going to get violently knocked out in the first or second round. So, yeah, under is probably my favorite play here, but that's about all sticking out for me. Topuria by sub, yeah, it had to probably be a club and sub, like the Islam fight. I would more so lean towards knockout though. But yeah, what is the sub prop? Let's see. Topuria by sub plus 600. That's not bad, but it had to be like a club and sub though. Fantasy perspective, who are the best dogs tonight? I have Talbott, but then debating Hermansson or Araujo or someone else entirely. So I think Araujo has like a cash gameplay, makes some sense. I don't think she really has a high ceiling. Slava Borshchev, if he wins this fight, he's going to score a ton of points. If he's winning this fight, he's knocking out McKinney. Hyder Emil, the definition of a dog. So I'd say probably Emil, Borshchev. Those are probably my two favorite. Dariush as well. Yeah, that whole range, Dariush, Emil, Borshchev, are three guys that I think have a ton of upside. My New Zealand bookie is offering plus 300 by KO or points. What are we thinking? Worth a sprinkle. Plus 300 by KO or point for which fighter? For which fighter? Watch the Hines fight go the distance, even though it screams early finish. It could. I mean, we saw Diniz go the distance with Carl Williams, and this guy Hines, he's never been knocked out. So I mean, it could, but I think Diniz by KO is most obvious outcome. Diniz double chance KO or sub minus 130. There you go. That's how you play. I don't think he's ever winning a decision. McKinney is going to try to wrestle. Slava's submission defense is too good. McKinney will gas. I don't personally think he's going to wrestle. I know everybody thinks he is. I don't think he's going to. The reason I don't think he's going to is because if he was going to, he would have done that against Damir Hadzovic, who has the worst ground game in UFC history. But instead of taking down Damir Hadzovic, who has a 20% takedown defense and has been submitted a million times, he went out there and struck with them. So I kind of think he's going to strike with Borshchev personally, but maybe he could surprise me. Slava doesn't finish often. Slava by decision is sharp Lambo play. Yeah, if this fight goes to decision, I'd be completely shocked, to be honest. I mean, I don't think McKinney's ever going to decision, ever. Agreed, they're not. Topuria by KO round 2. Slava round 3 decision is my most value play. I don't think it's hitting round 3. I'd be shocked if it did. You can pour 2 5-hour energy shots into a 4 Loca to make it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. It's not a good idea. What's a lock? No such thing as a lock. The only time I've called something a lock this year was Kevin Holland against Vicente Luque. On this card, nothing's really a lock, man. In UFC, and we've seen just crazy outcomes. Yeah, I don't have a lock for you today. For Kai, I don't like Kai here, but I mean, there's probably some value. I mean, plus 300 because he's not subbing Pantoja. So if you like Kai, you got to love that because he's plus 195 on the money line, but I don't like Kai personally. What's up, Blumdog? Good to see you. Slava round 3 KO plus 1750. Ilia moneyline, Pantoja moneyline, RoboCop over 1.5 to safe parlay, and then over 2.5 Tracy Cortez, over 1.5 Moicano. What do you think? Looks like all of them look good to me, man. All of them look good to me. You rate RoboCop to beat Hermansson, but I think the judges will give it to Jack over 3 rounds. Yeah, if it does go to decision, I do think it could go to Jack just based off of volume. If it goes to decision, I could see it being a volume versus damage type fight. But I think if there's a finish, it comes from the Rodriguez side. What's up, Bung Hoots? Good to see you. Betting the house on Lima. Don't do that. So the over 1.5 here could be a sneaky play. Not for me. I mean, people love betting overs in McKinney fights. And if you bet an over in a McKinney fight, you're literally 0 for 11. So I'll be taking the under. But I know people like the overs in the McKinney fights for some reason. You can't trust Dariush. He hasn't won in 3 years. I don't trust him, and that's why I'm not betting that fight. Slava Nolan is a great reference point. Slava won't finish. McKinney will do just enough to get across the finish line. The fight goes to distance. We'll see. We'll see. Meal decision thoughts. I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. This Emil money line's been crashing down throughout the week. I'm picking Delgado, but I really struggled to make a pick in that fight. I don't think Slava knows what a sub is, too, but maybe McKinney taps to exhaustion. I mean, that would be the only sub we could possibly see. But yeah, I think somebody's getting served here. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is Tracy Cortez going against Viviane Araujo. Yeah, this is probably the fight I have least interest in. I think it's probably Cortez by decision, but it's probably going to be close. I've always felt that Viviane Araujo has been, pretty underrated, but at the same time, she's now 38 years old, and I'm looking through like her last several fights, and it's like, she's getting outlanded in all of these fights. Like pretty much in all of her UFC fights, she's getting outlanded. So I think Cortez probably does just a little bit more on the feet. Mixes in the occasional takedown. Fight goes 15 minutes at a very high clip. Cortez by decision, probably the most likely outcome, but Cortez by decision's minus 225 on Bet Online, and Cortez on the money line is minus 205, which doesn't make any sense, but that's kind of what we're looking at here. Cortez by decision. No bet on this one for me. Who do you have the most exposure to on DK? I have the most exposure to Ilia Topuria, my favorite play of the board on the board this week, 9,300. Ton of Pantoja at 9,000, and then I just went pretty much all in on the McKinney fights, McKinney Borshchev, and then the Delgado Emil fight. I think both those fights, the McKinney and the Delgado fights, I'd be shocked if both those did not end up on the optimal lineup. So, yeah, those are the fights I want to target. What else? Pantoja, Topuria. I like Diniz a lot. Didn't get to really any Jacoby Smith. I mean, 9,900 is crazy. Man, I was going to go crazy on Jackson McVeigh against Dumas, but unfortunately Dumas couldn't get his ankle monitor off in time. Vivi just barely loses every single fight. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I see happening here. Vivi just barely losing. Okay. Let's get this comment off the screen. There we go. Okay, my model says Diniz and Ilia are locks. I like both them to win myself. What about sticking 0.25 units on a six-fold? Yeah, I tried to mess around with like a Hail Mary parlay, but it's tough because Diniz KO is like you're laying a ton of chalk on it. Smith KO1 is barely plus money, so I couldn't even come up with a Hail Mary parlay this week because there's really not a ton of spots sticking out. We got Animal, Alphabet Channel. Hey Brady, how you been, Bucker? I've been pretty good. How have you been? Dude, McVeigh was such heat versus Dumas. Yeah, I was looking forward to that. My favorite spot on the card. Was definitely looking forward to it. Brady only smokes that top shelf. There you go. Heck yeah. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. We have probably one of my favorite fights on the card. It is Jose Delgado going against Hyder Emil, and I posted on Twitter a couple days ago. Hyder Emil posted a clip of myself of my breakdown of his fight. He posted it on his Instagram story, and I think that was like the first time a fighter's ever done that. And yeah, he seemed to like my breakdown. My breakdown was basically, Hyder Emil is going to go out there, he's going to pull out his dick, and he's going to swing it, right? And I thought that perfectly summed up his fighting style, and I thought that perfectly summed up this fight. These guys are going to stand and bang until one man falls. A lot of money's came in on Hyder Emil. Emil was like plus 160 like last week. Now he's plus 115. Jose Delgado is minus 135. And yeah, I don't have anything on this fight. It's one of those fights where I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. I would have liked the under 1 or 2.5 rounds was plus money, was plus 115, but it got completely smoked. It's now minus 130. I don't love it. I think this is going to be like, if this fight could potentially go the distance, and if it does, it's going to be like one of the best fights in UFC history because these guys are going to hit each other in the face so much. So yeah, this fight's going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to it. But in terms of betting on it, there's not a ton really sticking out at all. Like I don't want to lay minus 180 on the fight doesn't go when neither one of these guys has ever been finished. But I also don't want to bet the fight goes, because if you bet the fight goes in this fight and you watch it, it's going to take several years off your life. Because they're going to just go. It's going to be a car crash. It's going to be an absolute car crash. So yeah, from a DraftKings perspective, I'm pretty much all in on this fight. That's where I'm going to get my exposure, because I think the winner of this fight is going to score a ton. Emil, 7,700. I think he's a live dog, and I think he's a live dog with a ton of upside. And Jose Delgado, if Jose Delgado wins, he kind of has the same fighting style in a sense where he doesn't mind going out there and swinging a little bit as well. And I think he has some wrestling upside also. So yeah, love this fight from a DraftKings perspective, but from a betting perspective, not a ton sticking out here for me. What are you guys liking in this one here? Delgado by finish. Yeah, I could see it. It's just not, we're not getting the best odds on any finish props in this fight. Not getting the best odds on any finish props. They're kind of all over it. Hyder round 2. I can't believe you don't like money Moicano. I want to trust Dariush because my girl is Iranian, but I can't do it after his last couple fights. Yeah, actually, I bet on Dariush when they were supposed to fight 6 months ago at plus 160. Now he's minus 115, so I'm not betting the fight. But Brady, did you see Tracy is now having her dad escort her around to keep creeps like Justin Cash away from her? What? I did not see that. I did not see that. Diniz is not clubbing Hines' decision again. We'll see, man. Any reason you bet for Ilia to win in rounds 1, 2, and 3 instead of KO? Just in case of the club and sub. Because a club and sub would not shock me. But yeah, FanDuel's hanging a plus 100 for the KO. I'm not sure if they probably limited it to like what, $50 max. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Apparently FanDuel boosted the Ilia KO. I think at plus 100, that's a great look. All right, Brady Chat, heading to the book shortly. Give me one bet to make at minus 200 or better for a couple units. Let's see. I don't like a ton of spots this week, but I like Pantoja by sub, under 1.5 in the McKinney fight. Kind of like the Rodriguez money line. Topuria rounds 1, 2, or 3. If they have that. Under 2.5 in the main event. Brady didn't hide to repost a video of you on his IG. Yes, he did. I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Biggest bet of the week for me is Emil over 55 significant strikes. Jeez, where'd you get 55 significant strikes? That's a great line, man. That's a great line. I kind of do think it goes to decision. Yeah, it could. It could definitely be like one of those all-out, just crazy wars. Just insane wars. Yeah, what do you think of any fighter by KO in the Emil Delgado fight? Plus 135. I don't hate it, but it could just be one of those annoying spots where they just don't go down. Like both these guys have that dog in them, you know? Emil by decision and fight goes. Yeah, somebody said Emil by decision was plus 500. I think Emil loses the O tonight. I see Delgado stopping him. A lot of fighters this year have lost that O. I'm picking Delgado, but you know, it was a tough fight for me to pick. Moicano sub, Emil decision, Emil ITD, 4-leg lock. I don't have any locks. 4-leg lock. Under 2.5 in the main event, under 1.5 in the McKinney fight, Rodriguez money line, and maybe like the over in the Cortez fight. Over 2.5 in the Cortez fight. DK, oh yeah, that's a great line. It's a great line. I like it. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Gregory Rodriguez going against Jack Hermansson. Gee, somebody just Put a big bet on Rodriguez. Went from minus 190 before I started the stream to minus 232 now. Jack Hermansson currently sitting at plus 197. And yeah, so I like Rodriguez here. I think Rodriguez can win this fight, really any method, but I'm definitely leaning KO here. I think if this fight does go 15, it's going to be very competitive because Jack Hermansson always has had underrated striking. I really like the volume of Jack Hermansson, and I think minute for minute, this fight is going to look close where Hermansson maybe landing more, doing more, but Rodriguez landing the bigger shots. But I'm kind of worried about Hermansson. He's coming off of a pretty bad injury, really big layup, about a year and a half off. He's now 37 years old, and Rodriguez, this dude hits hard. He hits very hard. I think he's going to hit Hermansson very, very hard. So I like Rodriguez by knockout. I like Rodriguez by first or second round knockout. That's kind of where I'm leaning there. But even like the Rodriguez money line, like I said, it was like minus 190 a second ago, minus 232. I think it's a solid parlay piece around the minus 200 range. If you like Jack Hermansson, I mean, you bet the decision prop. Jack by decision. I don't think he's finishing Rodriguez. I don't think he's taking Rodriguez down. I think if Hermansson's winning this fight, he's just doing a little bit more on the feet over 50 minutes. So I like Rodriguez here, and I think he potentially gets a knockout there. What are you guys liking in this one here? Dude, he can get 50.5 strikes in 60 seconds. I mean, if you think this fight gets extended, like that's a smash spot. The only way it doesn't hit though is if it does finish, right? But if it gets extended, he's obliterating that. If this fight goes the distance, the Emil fight, that's getting obliterated. Hit the minus 192. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it was there. It was there. Dubronx getting KO'd in the first. Drake bet on Oliveira. He did. Drake bet on Oliveira. What do you bet? 200K on him? You bet like 200K on Oliveira? Not good. Not good. Topuria sub round 1. Ilia is not subbing Charles. It had to be a club and sub. How much to rent a room to Diniz? Well, probably a couple thousand, maybe $10,000, because then I had to worry about the safety of my wife, the safety of my kid, the safety of myself. So probably $10,000 to rent a room to Diniz. I think that'd be fair. Because I'm addicted to double chance bets, I have Robocop KO or sub at plus 140. Robocop inside the distance plus 140. I don't mind it. Renato by KO plus 575. That's not a bad number considering Dariush's chin, I think, might be dust. Thoughts on Emil significant strikes total 40 plus is around minus 130. I like it. If this fight reaches the second round, that hits. Yeah, the Drake curse. The Drake curse. Not good. Jacoby Smith, first round only or no bet is only minus 20,000. There you go. There you go. Would Dumas be allowed to smoke cigs in the house or no? Preferably not. But if he's paying 10,000, I mean, I think there could be some leeway for some, maybe just open a window, you know? Maybe have some courtesy to open a window, and then he can maybe smoke some cigs. What do you think of a parlay of Smith KO in round 1, Pantoja by sub points, and Ilia rounds 1, 2, or 3 at plus 524? I like it. I like it. Lock him in a dog crate tonight. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I think Drake is plus money for his betting career. I saw a video. Is he? I don't know. But anytime we see Drake bet something, like it loses like 9 times out of 10. The only time I remember him hitting a bet was whenever Adesanya fought Jared Cannonier. He bet Adesanya. That's the only time I remember Adesanya ever, or Drake ever winning a bet. But I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is Felipe Lima going against Peyton Talbott. We got Lima minus 160. Peyton Talbott is plus 140. So yeah, I wanted Talbot to maybe get back on track. Like, this guy had a lot of hype. You know, people were really high on Peyton Talbott, already pretty much crowning him the next bantamweight champion. And now all of a sudden he's an underdog here to Felipe Lima. And the reason that is because Felipe Lima, this dude Lima, can mix in takedowns. He does have really good back takes, good jiu-jitsu. Obviously, you have to favor Peyton Talbott in the striking, but Lima can strike as well. But yeah, I mean, Lima's probably going to get takedowns here. And the thing that worries me about Talbott is once Talbott gets taken down, he gives up his back like every single time, and that's going to be a problem. So there's a good chance that Lima does take him down and does get to the back and is able to control Talbott. It could be a very frustrating fight for Peyton Talbott here. But yeah, money's coming in on Talbott on fight day. He was as high as plus 175 earlier in the week. He's now plus 140. And Lima's sitting as a minus 160 favorite. I was maybe looking at like the Lima double chance, submission or decision. I'm not sure where that's at now. It was minus 135. Didn't pull the trigger on it, but this fight could end up being pretty close. Like if Lima doesn't come out here and proactively grapple early and often and strikes a little bit too long with Talbott, it could be close. And if it turns out Talbott has improved his takedown defense and get-up game, Talbott could absolutely win this fight, but we haven't really seen it yet. The Nick Aguirre fight was a horrible look. The Barcelos fight was a very bad look. And now his ground game is going to be tested again here against Felipe Lima. So I have to go Lima, but I'm interested in seeing how this fight kind of plays out here in this one. We have 4-ounce Sniper with the 4.99. Appreciate you, 4-ounce Sniper. He says, breaking news, Colton G has been arrested and is potentially being charged with terroristic threats along with assault of an elderly person. Sounds about right. Wait, is that Colton G or SD Dumas? Are you getting him and Dumas potentially confused? But yeah, Colton G probably deserves it. Man, Colton G is a horrible person. Colton G is just a horrible person. But yeah, shout out 4-ounce Sniper. Thank you for letting me know. And hopefully he's locked up for a very long time. I have minus 137 for fight as to go in the Emil fight. Thoughts? I mean, that's a good line. I mean, you beat the line by quite a bit, didn't you? Because the fight doesn't go right now is minus 180. So, I mean, I like it, but it could be just like a really frustrating bet where it just somehow, some way goes the distance. But yeah, I think it finishes personally. We got the Fight Fool. What is up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Brady, are you a fan of Peyton Talbott's vape video? Imagine he does that as a celebration in the octagon if he wins. No, I'm not a fan of that video at all. Not a fan of that at all. Robot money line and the over 1.5. RoboCop money line for me. You were safe. There we go. There we go. Appreciate it. Did someone say butt vape? Yeah, apparently Peyton Talbott. I don't know if it was him that was butt vaping or a friend or. I mean, the video is still up on Twitter on his account, I believe. It's just, I mean, why not delete it, Peyton Talbott? How about you delete it? But yeah, that popped up on my feed the other day. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. First Jessica Andrade nude and now Peyton Talbott butt vape. I don't want to see this stuff. I really don't want to see this stuff. Drake has won. Yous are bugging. It's not a curse. It's just something people say to sound cool. I swear Drake always loads up on Patty. I mean, if he's win, I just haven't seen it. I'm not saying he hasn't. I just haven't seen it. Okay, there we go. Van is fantastic young talent, but huge step up for him tonight. Just on 3 weeks' notice since his last fight. Royval for me. The Liver King bailed Colton G out, and they're both on their way to Ohio. Boy. Yeah, what's up, the Liver King, man? Talbot will win. Lima subbing Peyton. He might. I think he's going to get to the back, but Peyton does seem to have pretty good submission defense. But vape video is cinema. I don't know if I call it cinema. I don't know about that. Apparently, Drake has wagered $35 million and returned $36.17 million. There we go. Shout out to Drake. No, I've heard about it. I've never seen it. because I didn't like proactively look it up, but just this week it showed up on my feed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, come on. Can't get my boner to go down that you mentioned Andrade. Oh gosh, apparently Andrade is fighting in a couple weeks against Diniz. Drake and butt vape equals same. Thoughts on Kaikar France versus Pantoja face-offs? Feeling very culturally enriched. That was a good face-off, man. That was a good face-off. Who's Colton G? Some guy that threatened. He threatened me a couple months ago. Came in here and threatened me pretty brutally. Lupi Godinez. Yeah, I like her in that spot. Van by KO calling it now. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Beneil Dariush going against Renato Moicano. Let me refresh these odds, see where we're at now. So, yeah, Dariush, minus 115, Moicano, minus 105. It's sickening, man. When these two were supposed to fight 6 months ago, Dariush is plus 160. I think it's as high as like plus 190, actually. I got him at plus 160. And then they rebook it 6 months later, and now all of a sudden Dariush is minus 115. Like, what's happened in these last 6 months to warrant this much line move? I did not expect this line to move like this at all, because Moicano is a fan favorite. Like, people love this guy. People love Renato Moicano. I'm not really sure what's going on with this line. So yeah, I'm sticking with my pick of Dariush. I don't feel great about it though. I mean, this guy's durability seems to be completely gone, and he hasn't fought in like a year and a half. The last couple of times he has fought, he's got sparked. So yeah, minus 115. I'm completely fine with just passing on this one. But yeah, Moicano minus 105. Moicano's like a dog on some books. Plus 101, plus 100. Yeah, I don't get what's going on with this line. So yeah, I'm passing. Kind of upset that I missed out on my plus 160, but it is what it is. Going to sit back and watch this one. I think from a DraftKings perspective, it's a great fight though. That's probably where I'm going to get my action. Dariush at 7,800 is somebody I like on DK quite a bit. So that's probably where we'll get my exposure. Ready to give me a 6-leg parlay right now, and I'll bet the house on it. Don't bet your house. Don't bet your house, man. Emil by decision plus 500. Yeah, that's not a bad line at all. If it goes to decision, unless Delgado is able to like take down Emil. But yeah, Emil should be landing more, doing more. Yeah, Colton G did threaten to pipe me on site. Yes, and have his homies pipe me. He did. It was brutal. It was very brutal. I've been just using your website and lacking on your videos. You're still running competitions. I did do a significant strike competition on the full card breakdown and prediction video. That's the only competition I got going on this week. So go check that out if you haven't. Go leave your significant strike guess between the guys in the main event. Will Jacoby Smith be the biggest favorite in UFC history? I believe so. Minus 2,300. If that holds, I believe so. Which one do you own more of on DK, Benny or Moicano? Benny for me. Do you think Moicano gets a takedown? It's going to be tough. Like even Gamrot struggled to take down Beneil Dariush. Like Dariush, I kind of think this fight's going to take place on the feet. Let me fix my mic here. Brady, did you sprinkle Jacoby KO in the first 60 seconds? I did not. And it's probably a horrible line, right, Dixon? And by the way, is that Cody Saftik in your picture? I just noticed that. Is that Cody Saftik? Colton G sounds like a teen girl behind the keyboard. Yeah, Colton G has some issues. He definitely has some issues. That's for sure. Brady, got to run to the liquor store. You want anything from tonight? No, I'm just gonna relax tonight. Kind of sick, so I'm just gonna chill. It's Cody. There we go. Shout out Cody Saftik, man. My spinning heel kick is ridiculous. Okay. We saw a good spinning heel kick the other week. Was that Naimov? Let's see here. Okay. I'm late. Brady, can you sing us a tune for International Fight Week? I don't know. My voice is kind of messed up right now. I don't know if it'll be good. This line flipped in that 6 months simply because Moicano lost to Islam. Really, Moicano was way better than Dariush. Is that why it flipped? If so, that's dumb because that Islam fight just tells us nothing. I mean, just tells us absolutely nothing. So if that's why it flipped, then it's just wrong. Brady, any predictions for who's going to need help tonight? Yes, I have some predictions. Predictions for who needs help. Let's see. I think Nico Price might need some help after tonight. I think he might need some help after tonight for sure. Maybe Terrence McKinney. People might expect him to wrestle, and I don't know if he's going to wrestle. I don't know. He might get served. McKinney might need some help. Who else? Who might need some help? Maybe Topuria. If Topuria goes out there, loses as a massive favorite, Topuria might need some help. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, if Diniz is losing to Hines, he'll definitely need some help. What's the milking of the week? The milking of the week is Alexander Pantoja to milk Kai Kara France. And the piping of the week is Jonathan Diniz to pipe up Alvin Hines. Sing American Pie. I don't know about that. Oliveira or Ilia will need some help potentially. You think Hines might need some help? He might, man, if he gets brutally knocked out. Dariush's levels above Moicano. I mean, I like his skill set more, but at the same time, Dariush, he just looks, I don't know. He looks like he might be on his way out. He might not be able to take a punch anymore. That's kind of what worries me. The durability, the layoff as well. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is Josh Van going against Brandon Royval. We have Josh Van minus 130. Brandon Royval is plus 110. And yeah, very good fight here. I think this is probably the people's main event. I see a lot of people very confident in the Joshua Van side. A lot of people very confident in Brandon Royval. I'm more so on the Brandon Royval side, and here's why. I'm a big fan of Joshua Van. How can you not be? The dude made me just a ton of money on the last pay-per-view when he knocked out Bruno Silva. I had Van KO 2-3, and I had the fight doesn't go to decision, but, I mean, this is a astronomical step up. I mean, this is going to be the toughest test of Van's career by a mile, and it was just about a year ago this guy got knocked out by Charles Johnson, who knocks out nobody ever. So, yeah, I mean, Van, I think he has a lot to prove here. We're going to see real quick whether or not Van is a top 5 guy. If he beats Royval, I mean, it's going to be just an incredible win. Van's career is going to just skyrocket. Van's been very active this last year. I think this guy has like 5 fights in like the last year or so. It's ridiculous. So we'll see. But yeah, Royval's fought the much better guys. The only losses really come against Pantoja. He has wins against Brandon Moreno. So yeah, it's going to be a test for Van here. But yeah, I could definitely see Van, just doing more over the course of 15 minutes, landing some big shots, maybe hurting Royval, winning a decision. But I think if this fight hits the ground, Royval is going to have a massive advantage. And I worry about the durability of Van. I mean, Van got hurt multiple times in the Chavez fight. He got sparked by Charles Johnson. And Royval's dangerous wherever the fight goes. So I think it's going to be a very fun fight. Probably fight of the night, to be honest. But I'm liking Royval here as an underdog, plus money. But we'll see. We'll see where Van is at in his career. This is a great test to kind of see where he's at. Hyder Emil dog of the day. I don't mind it. I mean, this guy's the definition of a dog, and that underdog money looks to be slowly drying up throughout the week. People getting on some Hyder Emil. If Peyton gets grappled again, he'll need some serious help patching up that grappling hole or that gaping hole. Yes, definitely has a gaping hole in terms of the grappling. Yep. World is climbing on Borshchev. McKinney money line hardly budged. Yeah, a lot of people on Borshchev this week. A lot of people on Emil. Seen a lot of people on Talbott. A lot of people dog hunting this week, it seems. There are rumors Dariush is retiring after this fight. I hope not, but it wouldn't shock me. And that's a good point. The layoff might be good for Benny, because dude, his chin's always been like iffy, man. He's been knocked out like 5 times. 434 views. Sheesh, Brady, you're really killing it. I'm proud. Appreciate that, man. One more hour. Let's go. Kind of upset. I thought these fights were starting at 6:30, but I forgot we lost a fight. Watch a few pre-fight interviews of Alvin Hines. Seems like he's not all there in the head. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I personally think that could work to his benefit in this fight, Tony Ferguson style. What do you mean by not all there in the head? Is he okay? What's wrong with Alvin Hines? Both guys inside the distance and split lines for me. Yeah, I think the Royval inside the distance line I saw plus 400, plus 375. I think that's a solid look. I mean, Van got finished by Charles Johnson. Enough said. Royval sub 2-3 sprinkle. I don't mind it. No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like there's a hole in his takedown defense. I didn't mean it like that. Last spot on DK Araujo or Kai Kara France. That's what I'm struggling with personally for cash. It's like Kai Kara or Araujo. I think I would lean Kai Kara, but I mean it's a tough one. I think they both lose, but I think I might lean Kai Kara a little bit more. Yeah, I want to know what's up with Hines. So yeah, the piping of the week is Janata Diniz to pipe Alvin Hines on site. I could see Van targeting those body shots and Royval shelling up, and the ref steps in for a TKO victory. Maybe. I mean, this guy Van, he's not really been much of a finisher at the UFC level. I mean, the amount of money I've lost on Van 2-3 props in his career has been insane. Like he didn't finish Durden, he didn't finish Ray Cerulla, he didn't finish Edgar Chairez, he didn't finish Charles Johnson, he didn't finish Kevin Borjas, he didn't finish Zalgas. Is he going to finish Brandon Royval? I don't know. Brandon Royval's tough as nails, so maybe. Hines is an engineer. He's definitely all there in the head. Yeah, isn't he like an engineer? So he's got to be all there. He's something like that. Brady, what is your response to the allegations of being subscribed to Jessica Andrade's OnlyFans? My response is she doesn't have an OnlyFans anymore, so that's not possible. That's not possible. We got Dr. Peener. Hey guys, update on Romanov. When I got there, his wiener was split into 5 shreds and looked vaguely like, what is that word? I put spackle between each piece. He'll be able to goon again in 6 to 8 months. Yeah, we need to get Alexander Romanov back in the UFC. Let's get him back in the UFC. What's up, KD? Good to see you in here. Nico Price plus 1,200 seems like insane value. It may seem like insane value until he gets carried out on a stretcher. I don't know. I can't believe that's an actual fight. Can't believe it. Did you see McKinney's interview with Homa Fight? I saw an interview with McKinney. I don't know if it was the Homa Fight interview or a different interview, but he basically said he wants to go out there and stand and bang with Slava. Brady, no, say you're lying. I need the Andrade. Yeah. So Andrade does not have an OnlyFans, but there's this guy on Twitter. His name's Marcel. If you want to hit him up, he has a bunch of Andrade photos that he unfortunately keeps tagging me in, but hit him up and he has everything you need. Royval finished only -120. I like it a lot. It was +100 at one point, but I like it. I don't think Van's finishing Royval. I honestly think Smith will look -10,000. He might. It could be one of the worst fights and one of the worst beatdowns we'll ever see. That was it. Yeah, he basically said that he doesn't want to go out there and grapple, something like that, which we'll see. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. He says, let's go, Van. Let's go. It's going to be a fun fight. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is Alexander Pantoja going against Kai Kara-France. And yeah, I like Pantoja here. I like Pantoja by submission. I just feel like at some point over the course of 25 minutes, Pantoja will get a takedown. And we've just seen Kai Kara-France put into a ton of bad spots. And I'm going back and watching a lot of France fights, and it's like he almost got submitted by Amir Albazi. It was a very, very close to getting submitted in that fight. I think it was second, third round. He was very close to getting submitted by Askar Askarov. Askar Askarov took him down, got his back. He was very close to getting submitted by Rodrigo Bontorin. Bontorin took him down, instantly got his back. And it's like, if Pantoja gets you down and if Pantoja gets your back, it's over. I mean, Pantoja is incredible on the ground, and if he gets your back, the fight will be over shortly after. So it's just hard for me to imagine Pantoja not eventually getting to the back of Kai Kara-France. For France to win this fight, he's going to have to avoid the ground at all costs. He's going to have to avoid giving up his back. And if he can do that, yeah, he's going to win. But I just think that's going to be a very tough task. 25 minutes to work with him. And Pantoja is one of these guys that he's not going to go out there and pull a Melissa Mullins and try to strike for 25 minutes. He's not going to go out there and pull an Irina Alexeva and try to strike for 25 minutes. He knows what he's good at, and that's the grappling. He will strike for sure. He will strike and mix it up. But yeah, he's ultimately going to attempt multiple takedowns here, and eventually he's going to get one. And then he's eventually going to get to the back. And once he does, I think the rear naked choke is pretty live here. Pretty live here. So I like Pantoja by sub. I like the sub prop. And I think it's around plus 220. I think that's a pretty good look for this week. So we'll see. Yeah, Pantoja, this guy's he's really good, man. He's a really good fighter. I think it's a tough test for Kai Kara-France here. So I like Pantoja. I think it's and still. Pantoja is so much bigger. Yeah, he's bigger. Let's go Charles Oliveira. Can't wait for that fight. Pantoja has staff. Does he really? I didn't hear anything about that. Pantoja will sleep him in the second or third, hopefully by rear naked choke. Pantoja is pound for pound one of the best. He just keeps on winning. Kai Kara-France looks like he's never used a bench press in his life. I don't know. Kai Kara-France is having some sort of midlife crisis. I'm a bet on the guy who isn't crying in public about childhood shame. Yeah, I did see that clip. It was I don't know. It was touching, man. Kai Kara-France looked like he was crying in the fighter meetings. Torn between fight goes to decision plus 104 or safer play the over 3.5 rounds minus 150 for the 5-round Pantoja Kai Kara-France fight. I mean, probably the over, but I mean, if Pantoja gets Kai Kara-France's back, it might be over, you know. Fight day, let's go, let's get it. Yeah, I like that Pantoja by sub as well. Kai Kara-France is a good live bet if he's still around for the second half because Pantoja always gasses and is so hittable. So it's weird with Pantoja. You watch all of his fights and it looks like he's completely gassed, but he never stops. He never slows down. He looks like exhausted, but he can fight 25 minutes. It's really weird. It's really weird. Look at his bicep at face-offs. I'll have to go check it out. My shots came from both on the angle as well, straight down the middle. Feint first, read the opponent's plan and opening, then I just destroy like the ocean. There you go. Pantoja has a chin. Yeah, Pantoja is one of the best chins in the UFC, for sure. All right. It is time for the main event. If you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button. Do appreciate you guys hanging out with me on fight day. These fights are kicking off in about 48 minutes. 48 minutes. And in 48 minutes, we'll get to watch Jacoby Smith versus poor Nico Price. And, I did this for the Wellmaker fight. Wellmaker, Chris Moutinho. I did just a moment of silence just to show some respects, to Moutinho and his family. I'm gonna do the same thing here. If you guys would just please take a moment of silence for Nico Price here. He's in these very tough times. So just if you will. Hey, we're doing a moment of silence. We're doing a moment of silence. Have some respect. Have some respect. We're trying to have a moment of silence, and you're out there dicking around. Have some respect. Have some respect. The champ has a name. What's wrong with people, man? Brady, what dog does he have the best chance to pull off the upset? Well, it was going to be McVeigh against Dumas, but the line flipped, and then Dumas pulled out because he couldn't get the ankle monitor off in time. I thought it might have been Dariush, but the line came in, and Dariush is no longer a dog. So now with dogs, I think it's either Royval or Emil would be my two favorite dogs that are actually dogs at this point. Royval or Emil. Did anybody else watch Jose Delgado get dominated 30-26 on the ground 2 years back on the regional scene? Had to take a shot on Hyder. Yes, I saw that. Was it the best look? No, but Hyder Emil's not going to also do that. So that fight is something to take into account going forward. But for this matchup, Hyder Emil's not going to go out there and wrestle for 15 minutes. I wouldn't think. But yeah, that is something important to note in the future. Let's see. Hyder's one of my favorite DK plays at that price. He's such a dog. Will fight for your money. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. This dude will fight for your money. Has Chris Moutinho woken up yet? Jeez. That was ridiculous. Brady, who has the most to lose and who has the most to gain at UFC 317? Who has the most to lose? I think it's Topuria, man. This guy is just so confident. He's calling a first-round knockout. All the confidence in the world. He's a big favorite here. I think Topuria has a lot to lose. Championship on the line. Who has the most to gain? I'd say Joshua Van has the most to gain. This guy can go and be like a top 5 flyweight with a win here against Brandon Royval. That's the longest far. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Why the hell are these fights starting so late? This late night fight sucks. Start the fights at 4:00 Eastern time, and let's do that. This 7:15 is wild. Yeah, have some respect, man. Have some respect. Brady, did you end up adding any extra bets? I know you said you were looking at McKinney Slava under 1.5 as a potential parlay ad. Yes, I added a parlay. The McKinney under 1.5 parlay with the under 3.5 in the main event came out to -114. It's 8 a.m. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Not good. I think the first fight is the Smith fight. Let me double check. They've changed the bout order up 50 times this week. So currently they have the first fight of the night as... Oh, I guess it is. Okay, so the first fight of the night is Diniz Hines. Maybe we should have took a moment of silence for Alvin Hines. I don't know. So it's going to be Diniz Hines, Price Smith, and then McKinney Borshchev. Okay. My bad. They've changed it up like 50 million times this week. All right. A better DraftKings combo, Dariush, Van, or Royval, Talbott. Well, I like Dariush, and I like Royval. If I had to pick one, I don't know, man. I guess Dariush fan if I had to pick one, but yeah, I like Dariush and Royval. Brady, you should do a poll for each fight while you're breaking them down to see what everyone else is on. Okay, that's something I could do in the future. That's something I could do in the future for sure. I've really only done polls for the Stat Digger show. But yeah, I can definitely do that in the future. All right, main event time. Ilia Topuria going against Charles Oliveira. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. My most anticipated fight of the year. And why I like this fight so much is because, first of all, how can you not like this fight? This fight's going to be absolute fireworks. And it's funny. So I broke down this fight. I broke it down nice and early because I was leaving for vacation. And I broke it down and I said, well, Oliveira is going to walk forward and Topuria is going to walk forward. They're going to kind of meet in the middle. And Topuria is going to be able to find him pretty easy and pretty early here. And then I was scrolling Facebook for some reason later that night, and I saw an interview with Topuria, and he pretty much said exactly what I said. He said that Oliveira is going to come forward, and he's predicting a first-round knockout. And yeah, I think that Topuria is gonna land here big, and I think he's going to land here early. You know, Charles Oliveira, he's getting dropped in pretty much every single fight at the latter half of his career. And we're gonna see what happens here. I love the under 2.5 rounds here. Got it at minus 160. It's still around there. I see like minus 175. I think the under 2.5 rounds is really good. Charles has only been over 2.5 rounds, like I think like only like 4 times in his career, and he's fought like over 30 times in the UFC. So I like the under 2.5. I have the under 3.5 in a parlay. My night pretty much comes down to this fight finishing within these first 3 rounds. I have Topuria rounds 1, 2, or 3. I think this fight's going to be quick, and I think it's going to be quick because of the style of both these guys. Both these guys are going to come forward. Oliveira is going to pressure, and that's going to give him opportunities to land big, but it's also going to give Topuria opportunities to land big on a very hittable Charles Oliveira. So yeah, Topuria minus 440, Oliveira plus 340. It's definitely a wide line, but my pick is Topuria, and I think he knocks out Charles in the first couple rounds. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Oliveira can definitely land something big here. If this fight hits the ground, it could get interesting, but I think it's Topuria. What do you guys like in the main event here? Let's see. Moment of silence for the guys who's not at all there in the head. I don't know. I got to listen to this interview. I got to listen to this Hines interview. Am I the only person betting on Money Moicano? I think so, dude. I think so. Because all I see is Beneil Dariush love this week, which is weird. 2 units. 2 units. Yeah, I agree. I really hope Charles puts his cocky out. This dude, yeah, he's cocky, man. But if you're knocking out Max Holloway and you're knocking out Alexander Volkanovski, you can be cocky. It's already written. Topuria KO1. Ilia drops hammers. I love Charles, but Topuria is going to starch him tonight. Also liking the Ilia rounds 1, 2, 3. I like it as well. Diniz KO rounds 1 or rounds 2, I think. So I like it. It's I think minus 125. I don't mind it. Main event for sure goes to round 3. I think it ends within the first 2 rounds. I have so much money riding on McKinney. I'm past the max bet. Best of luck, man. Best of luck. Best of luck. I like your Bronx in the main event due to styles. No bet. It is Topuria. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. I am going to head out here. I'll just do some final thoughts and pull up some final comments, and we'll head out. So, yeah, don't have a ton of action on this card. Most of my action's on the main event. I think Smith destroys Price, but that's baked into the line. I think Diniz probably knocks out Hines, but the knockout prop's disgusting. I like the under 1.5 in the McKinney Borshchev fight. Where's that at now? Yeah, Still around minus 200. Not touching the Cortez fight. Not touching the Emil Delgado fight. I like Rodriguez by KO in rounds 1, 2, or 3 against Hermansson. I like Rodriguez money line as a parlay piece. Nothing really in the Talbott Lima fight. Nothing in the Dariush Moicano fight. I like the Royval finish only, and Royval inside the distance at a big number against Van. I like Pantoja by sub, and then I like the under 2.5 in the main event. Fight won't start round 4, and Topuria rounds 1, 2, or 3. So that's kind of where I'm at for this card. Not a ton of spots sticking out this week, but we'll see. Short and sweet for me. Let's see. Big Lima fan here, but Talbott has a big advantage training in Vegas. Yeah, I'm a big fan of both those guys. I wish the matchmakers kind of did Talbot a favor and gave him like Shannon Ross. Ilia 1, 2, 3 is 2 square. Yeah, sometimes the square bets they hit though. Under on the main seems like the best option. You can never go wrong with an under in a Charles fight. Brady, I know your throat's worn out. What is that supposed to mean, Dr. Peener? But could you sing just a bit of Landslide by Fleetwood Mac? It's my cat's birthday and he loves you. Dr. Peener, remind me next week for Stat Diggers. I'll have to learn it. Let me see if I know it. I definitely know it, but I don't know the words off the top of my head, Dr. Peener. So I'll have to rehearse it a little bit. Just remind me in the next Stat Digger. Let's see if I can come up with something for you. Appreciate the dono, Dr. Peener. Best of luck to you today. Pantoja sub. Okay, there we go. Rooting for Oliveira. There we go. Have some respect. I agree. What's up? We got the Milkman in the building. Milkman, we're gonna get back on track. We're gonna get the milking back on track, and it all starts with Alexander Pantoja. All right, guys. Best of luck for UFC 317. Like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. We have a week off, and then we'll be back with a long stretch of fights. We'll be back with Dana White's Contender Series, so a lot of stuff coming your way in a couple of weeks. But yeah, enjoy the card tonight. Should be an incredible one, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.